Breaking news is from central Oahu, where firefighters are battling the Mililani Mauka wildfire. This is a live look at HFD headquarters, where officials will be providing a live update on the fire that has burned more than 1,600 acres so far and is 90% contained. We'll bring that to you live when it begins, but first let's get a check on the weather conditions with meteorologist Drew Davis. Hey, Drew.
Hey, Ash. We're still seeing breezy winds across the island chain today. You can see right now outside anywhere between 10 to 20 miles per hour, 18-mile-per-hour winds out of the northeast here in Honolulu, and we are seeing some showers on the radar today. That's thanks to a weak cold front that is moving northwestward. It moved in earlier this weekend, but it's starting to retreat northward, and we are seeing some showers here on Oahu today. You can see those showers are just around the Mililani Mauka wildfire. That should help the ongoing fire effort and putting out the fire, and you'll hopefully see more showers across the entire state as we go forward throughout the rest of today. Coming up in my full forecast, we're going to be talking a lot. There's a lot to digest here, but the weather is very, very complicated. I'll talk about it coming up, but first we're going to send it over to the press conference.
Just to bring everyone up to speed, the fire started 9 days ago on October 30th, on Monday. It's the ninth day of our operations, and the fire was largely located in private lands private lands above Mililani Mauka and largely in the Oahu Forest National Wildlife Refuge. Currently, because of our efforts and the favorable conditions, there are no active fire at this time. And again, due to the heavy rains that we received over the last couple of days, there are only a few hot spots remaining. And the success of our operation is largely due to our aggressive air campaign, air operations that would happen before that red flag warning. So we were able to suppress the fire to the point that when the red flag warning and the high winds came up, it was able to hold until the heavy rains came in and basically helped quench the rest of the fire and keep it to its current state right now at this time. We are seeing favorable conditions for the forecast currently, and throughout the week it's going to be relatively wet throughout the rest of the week. Again, there have been no reported injuries, no homes threatened, no evacuations, nor do we foresee any evacuations needed for the duration of this event. And again, due to the diminishing conditions, fire conditions, basically there's no active presence, just a few hot spots remain. HFD will be transferring command over to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to take this and continue the rest of the work that's needed to take us all the way to extinguishment. And basically I wanted to take the time to thank all of the partners, our federal, our state, and our city. If you guys give me some time, I think it's very important. We're living on an island. We have to rely on each other, and for us to keep us safe, we only have each other to take care of each other. So, if I may, our federal partners, our U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and their assisting federal agencies, our U.S. Army out of the Schofield Barracks, and our National Weather Service with the state, support from our Governor Josh Green, our HAIMA, Hawaii Emergency Management Agency, our Hawaii Air National Guard, our Department of Land and Natural Resources, their Forestry and Wildlife Division, and the Department of Health's Clean Air Branch. Within the city, our Mayor Rick Blangiardi and his Managing Director Michael Formby and their communications team, and our Department of Emergency Management with Director Hiro Toya. And last but not least, our own personnel in HFD, our pilots, our tender, our drone group that was on scene, and our incident management team has been here throughout. And our communications team that has really done a good job of ramping up the efforts to get the information out to the community. And also our private partners. We're very fortunate to have some private landowners that allowed us to use their property on the top of Mililani Mauka as their landing zone. Miss Sharon Geary, and also the Koa Ridge Ranch that allowed our drone operations and uses as their base of operations during our night and when we're doing a fire watch in the evening time. And also our subject matter expert, Dr. Clay Trowernick from the UH Manoa. So again, we're very pleased with the current conditions of the fire at this time, and the current operations and of the incident, and the weather has really helped us out to suppress the fire. And at this time, again, we're passing it on to the U.S. Wildlife Service and have them up to provide a statement.
Thank you. Aloha, I'm Dr. Christina Chin with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. I'm the acting project leader for the Oahu Maui National Wildlife Refuge Complex. The top priority for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service as we continue suppression efforts on the Mililani Mauka fire is to ensure the safety of local communities and firefighters during active fire suppression efforts. The service will continue to work in coordination with federal, state, and local officials and agencies. So over 1,000 acres has burned within the Oahu Forest National Wildlife Refuge on this fire, which has impacted and displaced rare and endangered species. The Oahu Forest National Wildlife Refuge extends 4,525 acres and protects some of the last remaining intact native forests on the island of Oahu. At least 9 native ecological communities can be found within this National Wildlife Refuge, including lowland mesic forests, rainforest communities, high elevation cloud forests, and freshwater streams. Oahu Forest National Wildlife Refuge supports at least 22 federally listed species, including rare and endangered plants, kahuli snails, native birds such as the apapane and amakihi. This forest is designated as a Priority 1 watershed that feeds into the Pearl Harbor Aquifer, which is where the majority of Oahu gets its fresh water from. Our island's water security relies on native forests to replenish these aquifers. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has the following interagency resources that will continue to support the firefighting efforts on the Mililani Mauka fire. 1 20-person crew, 2 10-person crews, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service contracted Type 3 helicopters, support staff that includes safety, operations, logistics, public information, and finance. There will be close to 70 personnel assigned to the fire working under this new command structure. We would like to thank the Honolulu Fire Department for their leadership and expertise in coordinating the outstanding firefighting efforts over the past week. Mahalo nui, HFD.
We'll be available for any questions. I'll call up Mr. Eric Johnson from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Any questions you may have?
Would you like to see more precautions take place in the future, like what we're just seeing over the past 7 days?
I think we've been working together collaboratively with state and city entities to look for ways that we can put in preventive measures. We've done that, in light of learning and taking whatever we can learn from what happened in Lahaina on Maui. We have to look within ourselves to ensure that we're doing everything we can do on our island. So again, with the city, the mayor has formed a wildland group with all city agencies, and we've been working together to ensure that we're trying to prioritize and identify those areas of concern on the island, like large landowners, and seeing what we can do to clear any kind of brush and do any kind of preventive measures, and that has taken place already. So from a prevention standpoint, we've educated the public the best we can. We send out public service announcements, radio, theater, on the news. So I think we've upped our campaign, the education and prevention campaign, and also on our forward-facing websites to provide information to the community on how they can keep themselves safe.
And again, that is a live update on the Mililani Mauka wildfire. Now,